you're a dog lover, you want to take your dog everywhere. But is a trip to Disney as exciting for your dog as it is for you? Is it safe for them to go? Today on WDWAO, we'll talk about the options of bringing your dog to Disney. Welcome, your Royal Highnesses. I'm Carol from Walt Disney World Adults Only, and today we're going to talk about a hot button topic, bringing your dogs to Disney. And I'm not talking Pluto or Goofy. Are dogs allowed on all Disney World properties? The answer is yes, no, maybe. According to the ADA, which is the American Disabilities Act, service dogs are dogs trained with a specific task to help their owners, or handlers as they call them, enjoy a more fulfilling life. As such, businesses must make reasonable accommodations for the dogs and their handlers. For example, dogs are not allowed in restaurants where food is served or prepared, but a service dog is allowed in a restaurant. So what is a service dog exactly? Thanks to Walt Disney World Adults Only Facebook members Alyssa Hewitt and her dog Braska, and Tracy Martos and her dog Cole, I learned a lot. Service dogs don't have to be trained by professionals, but a good service dog will take 2 to 3 years of training and then specialized training with their handler or owner for an additional 2 to 3 months before the dog's allowed to go home with them. But what kind of training are we talking about? Basic obedience. Sit, stay, come, potty on command, be comfortable in a crate, just the basic stuff. Something you teach any dog pretty much. Then comes proofing against distractions. Things like loud noises, fireworks, riding in elevators, trains, large machinery, people in wheelchairs, strollers, anything you can think of that might distract a dog. Many dogs don't make it past this point. If they make it past that point, then they go on to the specific task training for their future owner. Tasks could be alerts, like a cardiac alert, letting the handler know that something is going on with their heart, a diabetic alert, where they're telling their owner that their blood sugar is too low or too high with different signals. So service dogs don't have a registering agency, and that's part of the problem. What qualifies as a service dog? But service dogs will have a uniform, and it could be different for each dog. It might be a specific leash or collar, or maybe a vest that says service dog. And when that dog has their work attire on, they're 100% focused on their handler. When that vest comes off, they're a regular old dog, playing, romping, running around. But when that vest is on, they're completely on task. Cast members are only allowed to ask 2 questions of a guest with a dog. Is the dog a service animal required because of a disability? And what task does that dog perform? If the person can answer both of those questions to the cast member's satisfaction, that dog can enter the park. What about rides? Dogs are allowed to ride any ride that doesn't have a height restriction, the exception being Peter Pan, because the evacuation for Peter Pan wouldn't be conducive to having a dog because they're up in the air. Of course, I had to ask about Kilimanjaro safaris. If you've watched my videos, you know I could ride the safari all day long. It's my favorite ride in all of Disney World. Dogs are allowed to ride Kilimanjaro safaris. However, they put them on the same vehicle that they would put wheelchair riders. There's an extra tether or strap that they can leash the dog to besides their regular leash. Because let's face it, as well trained as they are against distractions, how often are they going to be close up with a rhino or a giraffe? So that's that extra measure of protection for both the animals and the dog. If your dog can't go on the ride with you, there's a crate, and the dog must be placed in a crate. It's usually towards the end of the ride. Cast members are not allowed to hold the dog, but they do stand next to the crate while you're riding the ride. This is another reason why it's great to crate train your dog. You can also, if you have another person with you, do a rider swap, except you're swapping, instead of kids, you're swapping the dog. So if your dog is in the park, how can you make it safe and comfortable for your dog? Again, I turn to Alyssa and Tracy for tips. They both said that asphalt can get really hot even in cooler months, so you want booties for the dog and maybe some paw balm if they're not wearing booties to protect the base of their feet. You want to bring cooling towels, maybe a raincoat, and it might be a special raincoat depending on the harness system for that dog. Drying towels in case it gets rainy. You also want to have a supply of food and meds that dog might need while you're in the park, just in case you end up staying longer than you planned. And don't forget the poop bags. There are designated areas for the dog to go, and in an emergency you can use any green area, but obviously you have to pick up after your dog. Now, water is available in the park, but it may be different from what your dog drinks at home, and Florida water may upset their stomach. So you might want to get some spring water or water from home if you're driving. If there's large crowds, dogs will get bumped during the day because people aren't looking down and seeing the dog. At night, it's much worse. A glow-in-the-dark collar or badge will help, but both Tracy and Alyssa suggested for things like the fireworks, you want to stand in one spot away from the crowd a little bit, protecting the dog, and wait till the crowd is gone to move away. And their biggest tip was take plenty of breaks, both for you and the dog. And in fact, a trained service dog may force you to sit down and take a break, even when you don't think you need it. Now, what if you have a plain old, everyday, ordinary dog? No service dog, no support animal. You can't take a dog into the park, but there are certain hotel rooms that allow you to keep your dog there. Art of Animation, Port Orleans, Riverside, the cabins at Fort Wilderness. I'll charge an extra $50 per night if you have a dog in the room. Yacht Club, being Yacht Club, charges $75. The Fort Wilderness campsites allow dogs for an extra $5 a night at the campsite. Dogs must be crated in a room and housekeeping will not enter. The rooms are near green space, so it's easy to take a dog out to relieve itself. But there are specific designated rooms and they're limited in number. So if you plan on bringing your dog to Disney, make sure you reserve well in advance. The reason for this is some people are allergic to dogs. So they're making sure that those rooms where dogs are not going to be where people who are allergic are. So while you can keep your dog in those specific rooms, it's still going to impact your day in the park. You're going to have to leave during the day to let your dog go to the bathroom again or feed them, then return to the park. Maybe there's a better way. You're pampering yourself at Disney. Why not pamper your dog? Best Friends Pet Hotel is a hotel for dogs. They open an hour before the earliest park and close an hour after the latest park closes. So you can drop your dog off during the day, get to the park, have a great time, and know your dog is well taken care of. This hotel offers different boarding options. You can have an indoor run, which the dog will have 2 potty walks during the day, or you can have an indoor-outdoor run, and the dog would get 1 potty walk because they have that outdoor area. You can upgrade to a vacation villa, which has 1 potty walk, play group, a flat screen TV, which I'm sure they're playing Disney movies, a webcam so you can check on your dog during the day, and if the dog stays overnight, a turn-down biscuit. And of course, Disney being Disney, let's go for the gusto, the VIP luxury suites. This includes the same as the vacation villa, but adds a second walk, a second play group, a bedtime story, and if the dog is there longer than 3 days, they even give it a bath. It's sort of like the value, moderate, and deluxe for humans. Same version for dogs. Now, humans are not allowed to stay overnight, but they can visit at any time. Overnight rates range from $47 to $109 a night. Now remember, I just said if you have your dog in your room, you're paying $50 extra a night, and you're leaving the poor thing alone all day. So for $3 less, that dog could get some human interaction and potty walks. There are also half-day rates available as well. So now you know why I gave that ambiguous answer at the beginning of the video. Are dogs allowed on all Disney properties? No. Only service dogs are allowed in the parks. Are dogs allowed at a resort? Maybe. Depends on the resorts mentioned and if room is available. And can dogs get their own Disney pampering? Yes, by staying at the Pet Hotel, the Best Friends Pet Hotel. Thank you for watching. I hope I've provided some information that helps you decide whether you want to bring your dog to Disney or not, and if you do, the ways to make your dog most comfortable. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so and hit that bell so you know when notifications of new videos come out. If you're not a member of our adult-only Facebook group, the link is in the description below. Please join us. It's where we have wonderful conversations, adult-themed conversations about Disney World. And remember, never grow up.